Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I wanted to talk to you guys about foam smithing and specifically the differences between using hot glue and barge cement. Sorry, yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day. So I have two examples here of the same project done with contact cement and with hot glue. Now also, there are two other differences with these. This was made with 5mm and this was made with 3mm foam, and this is a large pattern and this was a medium pattern. I am using the what was it? Aviator hat tutorial by Lost Wax here on YouTube. I got one of his template packs and I am super pleased. I'm learning so much. But there are pros and cons to both of them. The pros of hot glue is it's very inexpensive to get a glue gun and some glue sticks and just plug it into the wall and go. Whereas the barge cement, I ordered off of Amazon for I think like $30. But a little goes a long way on this, whereas I'm going through hot glue sticks like crazy. Like this one took like a whole glue stick, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but whenever you're like working on a project and like it's 10 glue sticks later, like, I don't know, I feel like I burn through the hot glue pretty quickly. Also, another pro and con is hot glue is totally safe to use in the house. You don't have to use a respirator. You don't have to have ventilation. It'll burn you because hot glue, like it's like they tell you in the description. I forget frequently how hot glue is. Now with the barge cement, as long as you wear like some little, oh, I don't have any here next to me, but like I wear like these little nitrile gloves, keeps it off my skin, keeps my hands cleaned. I can just pull them off and toss them afterwards. Comes with a brush applicator in the top, but I'm actually ordering a like needle tipped applicator that there'll be links down for all this stuff that I highly recommend down in the video description below. But it's super toxic. Like it says, caution, you will die. No, like this whole side label is warning you about all the different ways that it will destroy your life. But it holds up super awesome. I have way more confidence as a crafter and artisan in putting my stuff together with this stuff than I do with hot glue. And I don't know if it's just because I'm biased towards hot glue that it's kind of like, it implies a level of like almost cheapness. But there are some things that it holds together super well. So I'm trying to get away from my prejudiced bias against hot glue because there is a time and a place for it. But, so yeah, toxic, not toxic. Will burn you, won't burn you. But it might eat through your flesh if you don't wear gloves. No, it doesn't. It's a skin irritant, possibly. So also, like, so this one you can do in the house with the hot glue. With the barge cement, I do it outside with a respirator on, with gloves on. So, you know, I feed the mosquitoes every time I make stuff with barge cement. Now, as far as the finished look, all I've done is glued the pieces together. I haven't done any sanding, any finishing, anything. Now, I cannot sand hot glue. It just gunks up in the sandpaper. The contact cement, though, does set up with the sanding very nicely. Barge. What'd I call it? It's contact cement. It's just barge contact cement. It says barge all-purpose cement. But thank you, though. I use the term interchangeably because I've heard other artists, like my friend Lauren, uses it interchangeably as well. But you can totally see, and this one's like freshly done. Some of the seams are still pulling apart a little bit. And that's something I like about it too, is you can take it and kind of, you know, even now, like about 10 minutes after applying it, I can come through and touch up and make it just perfect. And all of this excess should sand down. I can still heat this to do the shaping because I want this to be a little bit more perfectly round for what I'm going for. Whereas with the hot glue, it's kind of horrible looking. Like, those are probably the worst seams I've done in my whole entire life. This was also my first time. I was my prototype because I wanted to see. I thought I was a medium. I'm a large. I have a giant head. Actually, I feel like I could go with an extra large, but that's just me. But yeah, so if I could go back and recommend to my previous self, I'd say go straight for the contact cement. But if all you have is hot glue, then go with the hot glue. Now also, what to do if your project comes out looking like this and you're not completely happy about it. Well, my idea for this project is I was gonna, well, I mean, I have my hair on, so that's, my hair's up, so it's not going to be a very good example, but I was going to attach these horns to the sides. It's just wiggling around, but I was going to attach horns to the sides of it and use this mask that I had made in our previous video about thermoplastic masks. Well, at the time of recording, I'm not sure if I'll have already released this video on how to make your own thermoplastic masks, but I was going to do a mask, you know, kind of right there with a horn coming out of each side, and this was going to be the base, and I'm going to be covering it in fake fur. So it kind of doesn't matter that it looks horrible because it's still going to be holding it together really well. Whereas if I were doing Magneto, or, you know, granted the shape's wrong for a Magneto or Metroid helmet or something like that, but if I wanted something that's not going to be covered in layers and layers of detail, like I just want a nice perfectly smooth surface, I would definitely recommend going with this, just because you can heat it, you can shape it, you can sand it, and I think that's super important. So sorry, I felt like I was starting this video with such focus, and I was like, this is gonna be great, I'll stay on task, and no, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought already. I'd recommend going with the Barge Contact Cement. There are tools and material lists down below so that if you are interested in getting into doing this, you can know where to get started. Also, if you guys enjoy my free daily tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, as well as participate in my monthly craft crates, in my fairy house giveaways, and all the different things that Randy and I do here at Back to Earth Creations, please check me out on Patreon. There'll be a link down in the video description below, as well as maybe, if I remember to, future Vaughn, to put the card in so it'll pop up and it'll take you to a video that will take you step by step through the process of how to become a patron. And then even if you don't want to pledge any money, go ahead and follow us on Patreon, because I do some Patreon exclusive posts, so you don't even have to pledge anything. You just have to follow the page, and you'll still get exclusive behind the scene pictures, and like as soon as I figure out how to post my own patterns, I'll be doing that. So yeah, thanks you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this was helpful on some level. What are your thoughts on barge cement or contact cement versus hot glue? Or do you have another glue that's your favorite thing to use when foam smithing? Because that's another thing. This stuff works with leather. It actually, you know, says, oh, that's not in English. Shoes must first be free of oil or grease for sole attaching, rough up shoe and sole. Like, and it's like, it's for attaching rubber soles to leather shoes or whatever fabric. So I'm like, I can use this with leather working. And whereas hot glue with leather working, it's like setting a diamond in a tin foil. I don't know, that could still end up looking pretty cool. It's like setting a piece of gravel into like titanium. No, that would look cool too. I can't think of any good examples. So it's like dipping sushi in ketchup, maybe. Do people do that? I don't know. Do you have a good metaphor of what it might be like? Then let me know, because I am not good. Or is that an analogy? Oh Lord. Bye. I love you guys. Happy crafting. I'll see you around.